Hey Tea-Heads, this is Don from Mayleaf. It started with Joyrider and Hip Cuddler, both bamboo roasted teas in the Dai tribe tradition in Yunnan, where they take the leaves, the finished tea, they stuff them into fresh bamboo, and then they flash roast them to imbue them with that extra bamboo-y warmth flavor. It's a weird alchemy that happens when you stuff tea into bamboo and you just apply some heat. As I said, it has to be fresh bamboo, and it has to be, particular kind of bamboo, and it has to be flash roasted in a very skilled way to not overdo it, not overcolor the tea, but to provide that difference, that edge, that dynamic to the tea. Both of these are still available, and both of these are very, very, very popular teas. Joyrider is a Guafang Jai raw pu'er stuffed in bamboo, roasted in bamboo. Hip Cuddler is our shu pu'er, our ripe pu'er tea, stuffed and roasted in bamboo. And now we've got a third. A lot of people have been waiting for this one. This is Renegade Butterfly. Now I'm going to try and give you a view of that. Hopefully you can see that cover here. So the theme continues where it is the combination of human and animal with our bamboo. So our pu'er teas are animal illustrations, but this with the Dai tribe being involved and the human element of roasting this tea. Obviously, there's always human elements in making tea, but we just want to create a little bit of a different symbolism around the artwork around these teas. So we've got Hip Cuddler, Joyrider, and now Renegade Butterfly. I'm going to bring that close and hopefully not too many reflections. You can see the little girl with the butterfly wings on roller skates, kind of looking a little bit sort of rebellious, let's say, as all little girls and little boys should be at some point in their life. So this is Renegade Butterfly. This is a white tea. So we've taken a white tea. So how it worked was these were very popular. We then reached out to different suppliers to send different teas to this bamboo roasting family and asked them to try out different test roasts. They came back with a load of test roasts with lots of different tea types, and we tasted them. And as always, most of them we didn't want because great teas, but nothing particularly special. This one stood out. And the sample, I actually brought the sample pressing to one of our Tea After Dark sessions in Camden in London, where we have a lock-in and we basically invite a sort of small group of tea heads to taste teas, and everyone went crazy for this. And I'm constantly asked, when is that white tea, but bamboo roasted white tea, going to come out? And the reason why it's taken so long is because we had to wait for the summer for the bamboo to grow again, and then for it to be cut around, I think, September, and it was pressed and roasted in October, and it's just arrived just in time for our Black Friday celebrations here. And so finally it is here. Ideally, I would like to let this rest a little bit, but because I know that it was literally roasted 3 weeks ago or so, and tea is a living thing. It's constantly reacting to what's happened to it, and just like humans, something happens and it takes a long time for that to process, and that processing is happening in this tea. And also it's traveled over from China, obviously. Normally I like to leave these to rest for a couple of weeks, but I want to make sure that this is available for everybody who's doing their shopping at the moment. And of course, by the time it gets to you, wherever you are, it will have rested enough. But hopefully this still gives me a mega session. So there's the cover artwork one more time. And as you can see, we've got this very clever notched method here where you literally just pull this lid off, because if you've ever tried to get into some of those bamboo teas, it is a nightmare. It's like chisel and hammer, and you feel like you're going to injure yourself or damage your place. But this is easy. Look at that. You just slide it out. and you can put it back in without any problem and seal it up again. So it's super easy. It gives you basically, you don't even need a tea tray to break into your tea, because as you can see, you can just literally just get in there with your pick, and that's what we're going to do now. So I'll lay it out this way, and you can see the leaves here, a combination of sort of mustard, brown, greens, some plummy colors. These little flecks here are bits of bamboo. This is perfectly safe for you to brew and drink. This is untreated bamboo, so no problem at all. But that's only obviously on the edge where it's been contacting the bamboo. Right, let's pull out this scoop, and I'm going to try to estimate something in the region of about 7 grams. Let's see what we got here. These are coming back in, but not until 2025, unfortunately. Ooh! See, got the skills. 6.9, 7.3. Yeah, that should be enough. Let's go with that. Or do I want to have a heavy hitter first? I tell you the reason why I'm having a little bit more is because I also note that the top of it, inevitably, the top part is going to be less compressed. Don't know if you can see that, but it's less compressed than just sort of a centimeter in. And I want to get a feel for how the compression is. So I'm actually going to go in and take more of this compressed stuff, a bit more. But that's just the geeky me. All right, so let's seal this back up. As I said, super easy. Just slide that in there and put the lid back on. So for all of you that have avoided bamboo teas because maybe you've had a bad experience and it just didn't seal properly, or it was very difficult to open up, and then once you'd opened it up, it had fallen out everywhere in your cupboard. Not the case here. You can see you've got to pull that piece of bamboo over, and that's it. Now that's sealed nicely and tight, and that's not going anywhere, right? So very, very good. I just saw these leaves here and I thought, did it come out? No, it didn't. So you can see it stays in there perfectly. Right, here we go. Let me tidy up this walnut chapan a bit. Don't want to start a session messy. Inevitably, it will end messy. Here we go. I've got my purple iron glaze guy 1, Lotus Gongdabe, and a dipped glaze cup. This little sneaky pot has just arrived in as well, and I want to test it out because I want to release it. So I'm taking this opportunity to test it out on white tea, but we're going to first do our first initial smells and tastes in porcelain. What's our temperature here? 93. That'll be okay to heat this teaware up. And then we're going to bump it up, and I am going to recommend that you do go to boiling water. If you've picked up Hip Cuddler and Joyrider, then you know that the bamboo does some amazing things. What does it do? I would say it adds warmth. It adds a sort of fruity quality to the teas, and it smoothens the tea out as well. I find that it becomes very smooth. Joyrider is a bit of a raucous ride, hence the name. Crazy tea, amazing, but just like the most intense flavor profile. If you want to experience a pu'er, okay, I did go for it. A pu'er tea, a raw pu'er tea, an iwu guafang jai, so it's like top echelon raw pu'er tea from iwu, but just amped up in terms of its fruitiness and intensity. Hip Cuddler is by the name. It's just the warmest hug. It is just pure comfort, warming. That bamboo roasting just adds this level of comfort and indulgence to the tea. Right, so let's see. Renegade Butterfly. Wake up the nose, wake up the brain. Let's go. I smell the warmth. I smell dates, sticky dates and black tea. I feel like I've been transported somewhere in the Middle East, sitting having a strong, sweet black tea with some sticky dates. There is a counterpoint to that, though. There is a bright, fruity note. Peach candy. Brown sugar. Yeah, brown sugar syrup, molasses, those kinds of things. Little alcoholic note coming through. Sweet sherry. Cherry jam, but morello cherry, specific, warmer. Prune juice. So if there was a color, actually it would be pretty much that color there, right? It's pruny and dark cherries, dates. Ooh, lovely. Okay. Why is this only going to 93? Hello. Don't mess with me, kettle. I'll use 93 to rinse. I gave you a good review. Don't let me down. What are you doing? Okay, got to press it. Maybe it's my fault. Right. Didn't bring a pet, did I? Oh well. Let's see. Smell of the wet leaf. Oh, you can smell the roast. But it's not roasty in the sense of like charcoal roasted oolong teas, things like that. It's more baked. It has like a baked pastry quality to it. It's apple strudel. You cooked apples in that baked pastry, not too dark baked. It's just there, that warmth. I've got that sherry, but imagine you've taken the sherry and you've soaked raisins. So I know apple strudel tends to have raisins in it as well, but like let's separate it. Apple strudel, sherry soaked raisins. That peach candy note is still there. It's very bright, but I'll actually say it's more like passion fruit. Pineapple is there as well, but again, cooked or roasted. Like just a gently roasted pineapple. There are some. The date note is still there. There's some like warm hay warmth in it as well. So that white tea note, very common, is that you get a hay quality to it, but also a milky quality to it. And I would say it's there. I'm envisaging panna cotta, but panna cotta with lots of like roasted pineapple and sort of brown syrup over the top, brown sugar syrup, and sherry soaked raisins and apple strudel. Apple strudel is the predominant note here. Okay. All right. Are you kidding? You're back at 93. What is going on? Don't mess with me. 94, 95. Why can't you get... It's cold here, but it's not that cold. Don't mess with me. I'll be back. 99 degree water. So we're good. I don't know. This kettle is playing up. I mean, I use kettles so much. I am the ultimate tester of kettles, I think. The amount... I don't know what percentage of my electricity bill is due to water being heated. Right, I'm going to brew this for about half a minute. You might want to put this through a filter because obviously white tea breaks up quite easily, especially when it's compressed. But I'm not. I'm just going to use a very small aperture. So it's going to be maybe not as pretty as you can make it. But you know me. Texture over looks. It's a nice looking colored tea. Whoa, super active. Sort of a whiskey gold. A bit lazy. I always say whiskey gold for things, but it is a whiskey gold, I would say. Beautiful, golden, vibrant. Lots of activity. Not just because of the broken leaf, because there's hardly any in here. Actually, mostly because of the trichomes. So this... Oh, I didn't scope the tea. April 2024. Cultivar Daejong. So it's the same big leaf Assamica variety. 150-year-old tea trees. So old tea trees, Assamica, April 2024. Munghai area of Yunnan. Elevation around 1,100 meters. Sorry, completely forgot. I was thinking I'm moving to tasting much quicker than I normally do. Probably suits you. Here we go. Cheers, everybody. Texture. That bamboo gives a thickness and a syrupiness to all the teas that go through this processing of bamboo roasting. It's thick, it's syrupy, it's soft, but then it turns into hydrating and quenching. So it's a little shift from the thick, syrupy, soft, slightly oily into hydrating, mineral, quenching, slight quench. So it goes to show probably the effect that the bamboo has had in terms of thickening it up. But once that sort of passes, the tea itself actually has a very sort of hydrating, plumpening quality in the mouth. Yeah, I love that little movement in texture. Taste. Dates. Panela sugar. It's just got that real artisan brown sugar, muscovado, panela, those sort of very raw sugars. That sweetened black tea is there, a very common flavor note for white tea, ironically, or not so ironically, because white tea is quite similar to black tea in terms of the fact that it's gone through some oxidation compared with green teas and other tea types, subject of other videos. But it's very common that you get that crossover in terms of taste. So much of that going on. Almond brittle also. A very honeyed note as well. And that's more after I swallow and just breathing out through the nose. There are minerals. I'll talk about the honey a bit later because I'm trying to get to know it a little bit more. There are minerals. There's a foresty quality to it. So let's just put it under autumn leaves quality to it in terms of the taste. Minerals, there's again, sort of wintry, rocky quality to it. And that provides a foundation for this really expressive interplay between creams. So I'm getting the panna cotta, taffy candy. So like that peach candy's become like peach taffy candy, creamy. Light, bright notes like the pineapples and white peach. And the sticky and fudgy dates, brown sugar, panela. And this honey, again, quite fruity. Like I recently was in Thailand and I tried longan fruit honey. And it reminds me of that. I'll just put a picture of longan fruit and a picture of honey because I'm not going to be able to find a picture of longan fruit honey. But yeah, that longan fruitiness and honey combined. So delicious and different from a white tea that would have just been a white tea. If you've ever had our range of Yunnan white teas like Tumbling Forest, you can still pick up that old tree, foresty, terroir, oomph that is so sought after with these kinds of Yunnan teas, but it tastes different because of this bamboo stuffing, bamboo roasting. And the bamboo roasting, it's going to go through a steaming process. So there's going to be, a process of softening the leaves. And that means that you're going to contribute to more oxidation. But also, of course, the actual act of it being put in the bamboo and then heated up is changing it, making it sweeter, deeper. Ooh, rum raisin. So the raisins, sherry soaked raisins, it's now sort of become like rum raisin. So cream, like rum raisin ice cream. So creamy, fruity, sugary. So good. So different. And I do wonder how this is going to age. As I said, it will definitely change over the next couple of weeks. It's going to settle into itself. And so keep an eye on the tasting notes if you're watching, say in December. I might switch up the tasting notes slightly, but by the time you receive it, even if you order it at the time of release of this video, it will have changed enough. The sweetness in my mouth now is immense. Honeyed sweetness, longan fruit sweetness. Oh, it's so good. That combination of the rocks and the forests with these brown sugar drizzles and these indulgent sugary notes, honeyed notes, such a lovely combination with that interplay of the bright fruits like the peaches and the passion fruits and the grape taffy candy. So those bright notes, then with the dates. The date fruitiness and the roasted pineapple, the roasty sugar notes, that caramelized notes. It's a really lovely, I wouldn't say full spectrum in the sense that it covers stone fruits, like, what was that tea that I just did? Hot Glove, which was just like crazy, like midline fruits. It's like got the sugary roasted fruits and sticky dates, and then this sprinkling of like very high, bright, note fruits on top. So it's this sort of, it's a really interesting dynamic between the two. Right, I'm going to brew one more. Oh yeah, it's building, it's growing. Wow, that sweetness is growing. I'm going to brew one more, and I'm going to split. Actually, I'm going to brew 2 infusions in here, and then I'm going to split it so that I'm going to put half of the infusion into this loony pot. Okay, you're winding me up, kettle. Why you were stopping at 93? Okay, people, we've got a kettle issue, but I will have to play through it. So I'm going to put half of the infusion into this clay pot. I'm quickly talking about this clay pot. I'm not going to do a whole video about it because don't have time. But what I will say is that the sample pot that I tested was so magical in terms of the clay that I just now want to explore this clay at every opportunity I get. This is Yixing Wendan. Let me just put it here. This is a Yixing Benshan Luni, which means it's a Luni clay, which is very, very much more scarce than Zerni. And it is from Huanglongshan, the original mountain with clay mined up until about the 1990s. The clay has been stored private collection since then, or the ores, and then the ores were used to make it the clay. I've got a video that's incoming. It's either just come out or it's going to come out, all about Yixing clays. I'm trying to time these videos so you can learn everything you need to know about Yixing clays. But this is a Benshan original mountain Luni clay, and It's from my recollection, or from the test that I did with this sample pot, it was so mind-blowing in terms of its porosity and how it affected the tea that I just needed to experience it with white tea, because I'm going to see how this clay reacts to all tea types. So sorry for the little aside, but I got experiments to do, everybody. Right, third infusion of this one. Oh, so soft, so smooth, so rounded in the mouth. And then, as I said, it sort of tumbles into this like mineral quenching, pulling, hydrating, plumpening quality. The aftertaste is again longan and date in terms of its juiciness. So sweet. Very hot. Okay. That honeyed note is great. Right, let's see what the Looney Pot does to it. Oh. This pot is magical. The top notes are still there. It has just become uber thick in my mouth, uber soft, but rich, super rich. The sweetness is accentuated. Oh my gosh, like so thick, it's like jelly in my mouth. And so rich. It's like the strength has been dialed up even more without any added bitterness or astringency. It's just been dialed up in terms of sweetness, in terms of those sticky dates, the honeyed notes, but the top notes are still there. This clay teapot, I think, is fast becoming a contender for favorite pot on my shelf. Anyway, I'm going to go away now. I'm going to have a few more infusions and I'll come back and let you know about body sensation. I've only had 2 more infusions. Oh, this is going to be my last infusion clearly for a while. I've got to fill up the kettle, but I'm already feeling it. So it's been, it's quite a lot of leaf. It is strong. Okay. This is strong. It definitely has it definitely gives you energy. It's definitely got that vibrancy and potency in terms of its sort of uplifting energy. So much so that it starts to become a little bit dizzying. You're getting that Tweety bird around my head kind of thing going on. Obviously, I've drunk like 5-6 infusions back to back, and as you can see here, not a shabby amount of leaf as well. I not brewed in the pot. Intentionally, I wanted to see what it was like in porcelain, but if I had been brewing in this, it would be even stronger in terms of body sensation, purely because the heat retention on this sucker, especially with my kettle playing up, is amazing. So it'll just like suck out really strong infusions very, very quickly. So definitely light, definitely bright, definitely energetic, dizzying in a sort of like woozy, giggly kind of way. Definitely got a dizzying energy to it. Maybe have some maybe have some dates by the side, or something just to sort of like, feed yourself, because this could be something that, gets you feeling a bit all over the place. But that's what we love about white teas in general. Who knows how this is going to age? It's going to get even stronger. This is a 2024 tea. It's going to get even stronger in terms of its body sensation, and its flavor is going to develop, and it's going to, really mature in terms of its flavor. But the aromatics and the flavors are a delight, and as you can see around me, they have not changed. In fact, they've just gotten stronger. Sticky dates, honeys, autumn leaves, rocks, grape candy, taffy, panna cotta. Yeah, I got nothing new to add to it. Let's smell the empty Grand Abbe. Oh, dark toffee sauce. Sticky toffee pudding. If you've ever had a sticky toffee pudding, a proper British pud sticky toffee pudding, which has dates in it, should have dates in it. So imagine sticky toffee pudding, and then think of that really sort of butterscotchy, dark toffee sauce. But then there's also this non-food note, a combination of snow and sauna rocks. You are outside. It's a cold day. It's snowy outside, that ionized air. But then you walk into a sauna and you're eating a sticky toffee pudding. I'm actually imagining sticky toffee sauce being poured over hot sauna rocks, but that would be a bit gross and acrid. But you get the idea. Minerals, sugars, and that brightness that's the same as that peach candy and grape taffy candy is there as well in the empty Gong Da Bei. This lovely, lovely interplay. Renegade butterfly. Made it in time. If you want to grab one for yourself or for loved ones for Christmas. The little girl, the little precocious girl entering her rebellious phase. I'm so excited to see how this develops and ages, and I hope you enjoy it if you pick it up. That's it, tea heads. Check out other videos, taste our teas wherever you are in the world by browsing mayleaf.com, and come visit us if you're ever in London. Other than that, I'm Don from Mayleaf. Thank you for being a part of the revelation of true tea. Stay away from those tea bags. Keep drinking the sublime stuff and spread the word, because nobody deserves bad